Very good morning to all of you. I once again welcome you all to this current video lecture. As we know that in the last lecture we studied the three different important properties regarding this conductance, that is called as what is meant by specific resistance, what is meant by specific conductance, and what is meant by equivalent conductance of an electrolytic solution or of an electrolytic conductor. So that we discussed in a last lecture. Now, after studying that particular important properties, now in a current lecture we are going to study the next important point from the chapter, that is the determination of conductance. So, as far as the conductance of an electrolyte is concerned, how to determine that conductance? So, for this purpose, we have to take the help of one important apparatus, that is called as the conductivity cell. So this conductivity cell is a very much important as far as the determination of this particular conductance is concerned. So first of all, this conductivity cell is useful to determine the resistance of the solution. First of all, this conductivity cell is useful for the determination of resistance of the solution. Once we know the resistance of a solution, from that resistance we may calculate then the conductance of a particular electrolytic solution. So it is a very important part for the determination of conductance, the choice of a suitable conductivity cell. Now the question arises, what is meant by this particular conductivity cell, or what is the different type of the uh, representation of this particular conductivity cell, what are the different types of these cells. So basically what happens, this conductivity cell is nothing but a one glass container. This is nothing but a glass container. This conductivity cell is a glass container. In this glass container we have to take the two electrodes. We have to take the two electrodes. One act as the cathode and second as the anode. So these two electrodes we have to take in this glass container. They are connected together, and after that they are useful for the determination of the resistance of a particular electrolytic solution. Now basically what happens, these electrodes, this cathode and anode, these electrodes are coated with platinum black. These electrodes are coated with the platinum black. This platinum black coating is there for these electrodes. Now these conductivity cells are of different types. Different types of the conductivity cells are employed as far as the principle or the requirement can be changed. So basically what happens, these conductivity cells are of these type of the three types. These three types of conductivity cells are commonly used, this first, second and third type. So as far as this first type of the conductivity cells is concerned, it is useful in a regular laboratory. In a regular laboratory we can use this type first of this conductivity cell. As far as this second type is concerned, this second type is useful in industrial scale. The industrial measurements of this resistance can be carried out with the help of this type of the conductivity cell. And the last type of this conductivity cell is there. This cell is specially employed or specially used in the circumstances in which we require the accurate results. If the accurate results are to be required at that time, this third type of conductivity cell is useful. So we can say that this conductivity cell is of these three common types. First is useful in a laboratory, second is in a industrial scale, and the third cell is useful when the accurate results are to be required. So we can say that this conductivity cell in each these three types contains a glass container in which it compulsory has the 2 electrodes. In this case it has the 2 electrodes, in this case also it has the 2 electrodes, in this case also it has the 2 electrodes. These electrodes get coated with the platinum black. Now this cell is useful basically for the determination of resistance, and after that resistance we may calculate the particular conductance of a solution. Now, as far as these conductivity cells are considered, what is the circuit which is present in these conductivity cells? So, as far as the circuit diagram is concerned, these conductivity cell has this type of this circuit diagram in this apparatus. Now, this circuit diagram is called as the Wheatstone bridge circuit. This is a Wheatstone bridge circuit which is present in a conductivity cell. Now, as far as this Wheatstone bridge circuit is concerned, what happens? It has some important parts. Now, it has a wire BC. This wire BC is there. It is a uniform cross-sectional wire BC. This BC is joined to another important parts. Among that parts, this R is there. This R stands for a variable resistance. This R is a variable resistance. This K is a variable capacitance is there. This resistance and capacitance are joined parallel to each other. After that, this point D is there. This is important part in this circuit, and this is called as the suitable current detector. This is a suitable current detector is there. Then this point C is there. This is important part in this conductivity cell. This C stands for the actual conductivity cell. This actual conductivity cell is there. In this cell, we have to take a particular solution whose resistance we are going to measure or we are going to determine. So C stands for conductivity cell. It consists of the suitable electrodes. After that, the part S is there. This important part in this circuit is called as the source. We have to take a suitable source for this particular circuit. After that, this point J is there. This is a J. The J stands for, it is a particular, this is a sliding is there. The J is a sliding which continuously moves along this wire BC. The sliding J continuously moves along this wire BC, and this point D is there. This point D is there. Now then the question arises how to locate this point D. So we know that this point J is a sliding is there. It is continuously moving along the wire BC. At that time when there is a no current flow through this detector, at that point what happens? We get this point D. We get this point D. At that point D, what happens? No current flows through this detector D. That's why this point D is called as the null point. This is a null point. So all these are called as the important parts present in this Wheatstone bridge circuit. BC is a wire of uniform cross-sectional area. S stands for suitable source. D is a suitable current detector. This C is our conductivity cell which is filled up with a particular solution of an electrolyte. After that, this R is there. R stands for variable resistance. This K is a variable capacitance. This resistance and capacitance are parallel to each other. So this is a simple information regarding the Wheatstone bridge circuit which is present in a particular conductivity cell. Now after that, the two important part is there. This is a source and this is a detector. So what happens? For the conductance measurement in a initial time, what happens? They use a DC current. A DC current is commonly used at the initial time as a particular current source. But what happens? This DC current, initially the DC current is useful. Initially this DC current can be used for the option as a source. But what happens? Due to this DC current, the solution which is taken in a particular conductivity cell, due to this DC current, what happens? There may be a change in concentration of this type of the electrolytic solution maybe takes place, and that's why the final results which is obtained in a resistance that resistance is not the resistance of the original concentration solution, but that resistance may be the such a type of the solution whose concentration may get changed due to this type of the DC current. So to avoid this type of the concentration change, what happens in a nowadays, what happens, this type of the AC current is used. The AC current can be used in this source. Now what is the advantage of this AC current? Whenever the AC current is used in this type of the resistance measurement, what happens, the concentrations change due to the first half cycle of this AC current get nullify or get cancelled due to the concentration change in a second half cycle. So it is a important application of this type of the AC current. Whenever we use the AC current, whenever we use this AC current, so what happens, those changes which can be takes place, suppose if this is a first half cycle during which suppose some change in a concentration can be takes place, these concentration change get nullify at the second half cycle. So we can say that those concentration change which can be made due to this first half cycle get nullify due to the same concentration change with opposite sign at this second half cycle, and due to which we can say that whenever this AC current is used, the total concentration change becomes nil. Concentration change is remains nil. So there is no any net concentration change in this particular AC current application. So for this purpose, nowadays AC current is commonly used as a source in this conductivity cells. After that, the second important part is a detector. This detector is there. So for the detection purpose, the common detectors which is used, this common detectors in this Wheatstone bridge circuit, these common detectors are there. This is a earphone is there, a common earphone is there. It may be used as a suitable current detector. Now these suitable detectors, whenever requires the high accuracy, so at that time we may use some cathode ray oscilloscope also. Cathode ray oscilloscope, cathode ray oscilloscope is there. So this may be used as a detector. So we can say that this type of the common detectors can be used in this particular circuit called as the Wheatstone bridge circuit, commonly used in this type of the conductivity cells. So this is a very common information regarding the Wheatstone bridge circuit which is present in a particular conductivity cell. This detector and source which are commonly used, that is the source commonly used is a AC current, and this detector commonly used as a earphone, or it may the cathode ray oscilloscope is there. So this is a simple type of the circuit diagram is present in our particular conductivity cell. Now after considering this particular circuit diagram for this conductivity cell, the next important point we are going to study is called as the calculation of resistance of solution. Next we are interested to of calculations of resistance of solution. Now we know that we are interested to calculate the conductance of a solution, and for this conductance measurement we must know the resistance of a solution. After knowing this resistance of a solution, we may calculate the conductance of a solution. Now in order to determine or calculate the resistance of a solution, the another type of the circuit diagram is used. That circuit diagram is similar to that of the our previous Wheatstone bridge circuit. Only one common change is there. Instead of source which is taken in the first figure, that source get replaced by the battery. This source can be replaced by this type of the battery. So this is a one important change between this Wheatstone bridge circuit, and this is a modified version of the Wheatstone's bridge circuit. Other parts remain the same. Now what happens, in order to calculate the resistance of a solution, we have to use the modified version of this type of the Wheatstone bridge circuit. In this is a battery E is there. This battery supply the current I. So this I current is supplied by this battery. When this current approaches at this point C, it get divided into the two different currents. The first current along this direction CA is a I1. The second type of the current along this CB is called as the I2. So at point C, two different types of the currents is obtained, I1 as well as the I2. When this current I1 get transferred to this resistance R, then what happens? We know that whenever a current can be passed through a particular resistance, there is a occurrence of the potential drop. There is the occurrence of the potential drop. Whenever this resistance can be flow through the resistance, potential drop is there. So what do you mean by this potential drop? Whenever the current can be passed through the resistance, there is a occurrence of this type of the potential drop, and this potential drop is nothing but a product of current multiplied by resistance. It is a product of current multiplied by the resistance. So you can say that whenever this current I, whenever this current I1 and this I2 transferred through the particular resistance, then what happens? There is a occurrence of the potential drop is there. So we have to take into consideration two different potential drop. The first potential drop across this AC, the first potential drop across this first CA, this first potential drop across CA is equal to the potential drop across CD. The potential drop across this CA is equal to the potential drop across CD. So we can show that potential drop across C and A is equal to the potential drop across C and D. So it is very simple. We have to write a potential drop first across this C and A is equal to the potential drop across C and D. Now, in order to write the potential drop across this C and A, how to write it? We know that this potential drop across CA is nothing but the product of current, that is I1 multiplied by the resistance R. So this simple particular potential drop across this CA is equal to, what is it? I1, that is current I1 into its resistance R is equal to the second potential drop across this CD. So how to calculate it? The potential drop across this CD is nothing but this product of this current I2 multiplied by the resistance R2. So it is equal to I2 into resistance R2. This is the equation number first. Okay, so this is the first type of the potential drop across these two different type of the directions. After that, whenever this current passes from this point A, it approaches toward this conductivity cell, then second type of the potential drop is there. This potential drop is across this AB. Potential drop across this AB is equal to potential drop across this BD. So this type of the second type of the potential drop is there. Now in this case, this conductivity cell, it offers the resistance. So what is that resistance? That we have to calculate. Suppose that resistance is equal to Rx. This is unknown resistance offered by a solution. It is supposed to be the Rx. So what happens? The potential drop across this AB is equal to, what is the current now? This current is again equal to this I1 in this case also. So it is equal to I1 into resistance is a Rx is equal to, in this case again, what is the current? So that current is, we know that in this side the current is a I2 and the resistance is a R1. So is equal to I2 into R1. So this is the equation number 2. So in this case we write the two different type of the potential drops. One across CA is equal to CD, that is equal to I1 into R equal to I2 into R2, equation number 1. And in the second case, the potential drop across this AB is equal to the potential drop across this BD, that is equal to I1 into Rx is equal to I2 into R1. Now after getting these two equations, we have to divide this equation number 2 by the equation number 1. By dividing equation number 2 by the equation number 1, we get here Rx divided by R is equal to R1 divided by R2. So this type of the equation is obtained. Rx divided by R equal to R1 divided by R2. Then what we have to do? Once we know the value for this R, R1 and R2. If we know these are three values for these three terms, R, R1 and R2, these are the three different resistance. After knowing these three different resistance, we may calculate the magnitude for this Rx, and that Rx is nothing but the resistance of the solution which is to be taken in a conductivity cell. So this is a simple equation for the determination or for the calculation of resistance of a solution with the help of modified version of Wheatstone's bridge circuit. And in this case, we have to take into consideration the two different types of the potential drop. So this is a simple way for the determination of this type of the particular resistance of a particular solution taken in a conductivity cell. Now after the calculation of this type of the resistance from the particular modified version of Wheatstone bridge circuit, we are interested to calculate then, after that we are interested to calculate the equivalent conductance. Calculation of equivalent conductance. Calculation of equivalent conductance. So we are going to calculate now the equivalent conductance with the help of this type of the resistance which we just calculated. Now how to calculate this type of the equivalent conductance? So we know one equation for resistance, that is the resistance of a particular electrolytic solution is equal to rho into L divided by A. So this is the equation for the calculation of the resistance of a particular solution. Now in this equation, in order to measure this R, one ratio is there, and this ratio is a L divided by A. Now what is the meaning of this ratio L divided by A? So the ratio L divided by A is called as the cell constant. It is called as the cell constant. Cell constant is equal to L divided by A. So what is means by this L, what is by this A? So in this case, this L is nothing but the distance of separation. It is L stands for distance of separation between the two electrodes. This L stands for distance of separation, between the two electrodes, distance of separation between the two electrodes. This is a L, and next term, that is small a, that small a is there, that is a cross sectional area. This is a cross sectional area. So if we take the ratio of L divided by A, then it is called as the cell constant of a particular cell, and it is the unique value for each and every cell. So this determination of cell constant each and every time, so what happens, each and every time if you want to determine its cell constant, so it is a very tedious to measure always the distance of separation between the electrodes as well as their area of cross section. During this such a type of the measurements, our electrodes may get spoiled or they may get the damage. So to avoid this, another type of the indirect method is used for the determination of this type of the particular cell constant of a particular cell. So that another method is a simple. So what happens, in order to determine the cell constant, we have to take into consideration the resistance of a solution. So in that case, this cell constant is calculated as cell constant, this cell constant in a unit of per centimeter, cell constant in unit of per centimeter is equal to resistance of KCl solution, resistance of KCl solution divided by specific resistance of KCl solution, specific resistance of KCl solution. So this is a simple ratio we have to take into consideration for the indirect calculation of this type of the cell constant. The cell constant has the unit of this type of the per centimeter. So once we calculate this cell constant, from this cell constant now we may calculate the specific resistance. So how to calculate it? Specific resistance that is a given by the sign rho is equal to observed resistance, it is the observed resistance divided by the cell constant, observed resistance divided by the cell constant. So what we did here, we just rearrange this above equation in order to calculate the specific resistance rho, that is equal to the observed resistance, that is R, divided by its cell constant. Now once we calculate this type of the specific resistance of a solution, we may calculate finally that is equivalent conductance lambda is equal to 1000 into Ls divided by this C. So this is our final equation for the calculation of the equivalent conductance of an electrolytic solution with the help of this type of the specific conductance. To calculate this specific conductance, we must know specific resistance, and that is given by rho is equal to observed resistance, that is R, divided by cell constant. Then how to calculate cell constant? Cell constant is calculated with the help of resistance of KCl solution divided by specific resistance of KCl solution. Before that, the cell constant, what is meant by this cell constant? So cell constant is nothing but the ratio of the two different properties of an electrode, that is a ratio of L divided by A. What is meant by this L? This L is a distance of separation between the two electrodes, and this A is their cross sectional area. Then this is a simple equation to calculate this type of the equivalent conductance of a particular electrolytic solution. So in the current lecture, we studied the different aspects regarding this type of the determination of conductance. So this determination of conductance can be carried out with the help of the conductivity cells. What do you mean by this conductivity cell? This conductivity cell is such an apparatus which is useful for the determination of resistance of a solution, which is required further for the conductance measurement. So this conductivity cell is a glass container which consists of the two electrodes. One is a cathode, second must be anode. These electrodes get coated with the help of this platinum black. Now these conductivity cell are of different types. Different types of conductivity cells are there. These are the three different types. Then each conductivity cell consists of some circuit. That circuit is called as the this type of the Wheatstone bridge circuit. So in this case, a different important part is there. Source is there, detector is there. This is the conductivity cell is there. So this is a Wheatstone bridge circuit. After that, in order to calculate the resistance of the solution, we have to use the modified version of the Wheatstone bridge circuit, and from this modified version of the Wheatstone bridge circuit, we may calculate the resistance of the given solution which is taken in a conductivity cell, that is called as the Rx. After the calculation of this resistance, we are interested to calculate the particular equivalent conductance. After, we are interested to calculate this type of the equivalent conductance with the help of the resistance which we just measure with the help of modified version of Wheatstone bridge circuit. So in this equation, one ratio is there, that is a cell constant, and finally by using this cell constant we can calculate the specific resistance, and after that we can calculate the equivalent conductance of the particular electrolytic solution with the help of conductivity cell. So different points we will cover in this current lecture. The remaining points we will take in a upcoming lecture. So with this I stop here. Thank you so much.